guys, welcome to The Secret Life of Snakes. I'm here with Nina. We're actually having a look in her enclosure today, which you haven't seen before. It's a 2-foot enclosure. She has a cool hide over here, which is the half wooden log. She has a hot hide here, which normally sits at the back. And when she goes into shed, I actually put a moisture hide in there also, so that she has the ability to increase her humidity without the humidity in the enclosure increasing. Because as you know guys, corn snakes have to have a humidity of 30 to 50%. And obviously when she sheds, you can raise that by putting a bigger water bowl in rather than a small one, but that will increase the humidity in the whole enclosure. And I prefer to keep the humidity where it needs to be for a corn snake so that it prevents respiratory infections, etc. And I just go for the moisture hide because it keeps it contained in a box. So I'm going to get her out and I'm going to show you. Yesterday I noticed the first signs of her going into the blue, which is beginning to shed. That's what that means. So I just want to show you what those signs look like. Okay, so this is Nina. When your snakes are shedding and going into the blue, I don't recommend handling. They generally don't appreciate handling at the best of times, they tolerate it, and when they're in the blue, things just get a little bit more stressful for them, and so I would recommend that you don't handle them and you just leave them until they've shed and then you can handle them again. But I wanted, for the purpose of this video, just to show you. So if I bring her right up close, you can see that she is a little bit more wrinkly in her skin. Obviously she is a scaleless, so you will be able to better see her wrinkly skin. If you've got a scaled corn snake, this is probably something you're not going to see. But her skin looks dull. It doesn't pop as much as it did. Her blacks generally look more grey. And if I flip her up to her tummy, that's where you will see some difference. It's not the striking black and white checkerboard. Her belly actually looks a little bit yellowy, and the black checkerboard is now a sort of bluish grey. Now the last sign is the blue eyes, and Nina at the moment doesn't have blue eyes, so I can't show you her blue eyes right now. They are a little bit cloudy, but they're not completely there yet. Now what happens is they get these blue eye caps, and then just before they shed, they clean right up again. She's interested in seeing you. Look, she's interested in the camera. Hi. But yeah, so those are the first signs, guys. Once you get the eye caps, I recommend not handling, because they won't be able to see you, and therefore life is scary when you're a small little noodle, and when you're a small little noodle that can't see, life is a little bit more scary and you're more likely to get nipped. Now with corn snakes, she's quite docile, so I've not had a nip from her even when she's had eye caps, but I wouldn't recommend handling them when they are in shed. So this is one of Nina's old sheds. She will have one that looks very similar to this when she has finished her shedding process at the moment. And this is a full shed, a complete shed, and this is really healthy. Now, if you've got a scaled corn snake, it will have pattern on the top and the bottom, but because she is scaleless, it looks really smooth on the top with no scale pattern in it. And then underneath, because she has her ventral scales still, you'll be able to see that there is a ventral scale pattern. Now I just made sure when she shed that it was complete, including the tail, and that there was no gaps and nothing was actually left on her. And it includes the eye caps. Make sure that your shed includes them. Otherwise you might find that they have actually stuck on your snake and you need to make sure that they are removed. If you have a dodgy shed and it is not in one piece like this one, you just have to make sure that you bathe them in water that is the same temperature as their mat. What I normally do is fill it up with lukewarm water and then pop it on their heat pad so that it stays warm. Pop them in there and put the lid on, keep them in there for half an hour, and then I take it out and I get a wet flannel and actually rub the snake in the direction that their scales go normally rather than against the scales, go with the scales, and you'll find that the shed comes right off really easy. But leave them to soak for a good half an hour. Make sure that you check on them, make sure that they're not in any danger of drowning and that they're okay and they're not getting really stressed. But other than that, that's all you do for a dodgy shed. If it was dodgy, that you actually evaluate your husbandry, make sure that their temperature and their humidity is where it should be. And obviously when they're shedding, just make sure that you bump that up a little bit. I do that by adding a moss hide. You can also do that by just putting a bigger bowl of water in, because the bigger the surface area of the water, the higher the humidity will be. I hope that you like this video. Please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure that you ring that bell so that you can have the videos as and when I upload them. Thanks for watching.